right
Okay.
ahead, and it's recording. Perfect.
Cool. Well, hi, everyone. My name is Jason Kova, and I am with Academic Programs International, or API. I'm the University Relations Representative for UW-Platt. So I'm really excited to be here today to have the chance to speak with you and share information about the different programs that we have. I do have a presentation, so I'll go through that, kind of summarize a lot of the different programs and kind of move through it relatively quickly, but if anyone has any questions, feel free to let me know. So I've been with API for just over 5 years, so a little bit about me. I'm from Wisconsin originally, actually. I went to UW-Madison and UW-La Crosse, and I worked at UW-La Crosse for a really long time as well. So I'm a Wisconsinite. I live in Texas now, though, so I had to get out of the cold, so pretty excited about that. So before I get started with some of the details of the programs, I just wanted to share this little slide here, which kind of highlights some feedback from students that we've had participate in the various programs over the years. Just some quotes that are here and some pictures kind of coincide with them. But just some really cool things that people talk about with regard to their study abroad experiences. In general, we like to talk about what a life-changing experience study abroad is. And I think that a lot of these quotes really kind of do a good job of summarizing that in just a few words. So some of them you'll see are even from 2020. So we did have a lot of spring students that were abroad and unfortunately had to come home a bit early, but they still were able to make the most of their experiences. So we're really excited to see such positive feedback and responses. So before I dive into the programs, I do want to just mention really quickly who is API, or who we are as an organization. So API was founded by the 4 ladies you see in this picture here, who we refer to as our founding mothers. And what I think is really cool and important about that is that it really sets the tone for who we are as an organization and how we want you to feel as a participant in our programs. We are a family, and we truly want you to feel like you're part of our family. So the way we design our programs is programs that have obviously a very good strong educational component, but also a rich cultural component that really help enhance and enrich the lives of the students that participate, our partner institutions, and even the local communities in which our students are. So whether we do that in an in-person program or an on-site program, or in today's age, a virtual program, we really do strive to make sure that's a big component of all of the different programs. So we hope you'll consider being part of our API family at one point in time. So this is just kind of a brief summary of the different programs that we have. And so kind of to give you an idea of what I'm going to talk about. I'm not going to go through every individual site, but I'll give you a broad overview of the different types of programs. So we have our on-site or traditional study abroad programs, and those are available in the countries that you see here. So Europe, Latin America, Asia, the Middle East as well, and then also the South Pacific. And then we have our internship sites. These are also going to be our on-site international internships. And these we offer again in Europe, Latin America, and South Pacific as well. And then finally, I'm going to touch upon our virtual programs. So these are the kind of the newer things that we're doing. Obviously, it's a new age that we're all in, but these are our programs that are here to stay. So they're not just kind of temporary things that we've launched to take the place of our on-site programs, but these are some really cool things to think about, whether that be in the next semester or even along the road while you're finishing your degree. So talking about our API programs that are offered on-site, as you saw, we have programs in just over 20 countries. And so they range in length from a couple of weeks. We do some intensive language programs or some short-term study over J-term, all the way up to an entire academic year. So you can take a whole bunch of classes and you can study for as long or as short as you want in most different locations. All of our programs are at accredited institutional partners overseas. So API doesn't teach our own courses, but what we do is we partner with institutions. So they offer their programs, and then we help you get enrolled in those courses and support you throughout all of your events while you're there, housing, cultural activities, emergency support services, and all of that. We have global staff who are cultural experts, and they're there to help make sure you have the best possible experience while you're on site, whether that's participating in different excursions or cultural events. Again, if you need help or support while you're there, they're there to help you throughout the entire experience. We also offer internship programs in some of our locations that are partnered with a study abroad experience. So we do have our standalone or full-time internships, but we also offer the opportunity to combine an internship experience with your study program in several sites. One of my biggest things that I like about our API programs is our API Gives Back initiative. And I'm big into volunteerism and service learning, so this is something that's really near and dear to my heart. But what we do is, I'll talk about that in a little bit, but we do offer opportunities for you to do volunteer programs while you're there on site. And then lastly, I want to mention that even though we do offer virtual programs, which I'll go over a little bit, we have we are combined an optional on-site experience as a part of our virtual program. So if you don't know that you want to go abroad for sure, but you're thinking a virtual program might be something you're interested in, then you decide you do want to go abroad, we offer short experiences in those countries that you can do after your participation in a virtual program. So you can still get a taste of the on-site side, even if your program is mostly virtual. So with all of our programs, you're going to receive a lot of the same services, whether you do them on-site or virtually. So you're going to get pre-departure services, so helping you get enrolled in the program, visa, if that's necessary, all sorts of different information. You'll have your on-site staff, or in the virtual space, your global guides, who will be there to help you along the way with anything that you can possibly think of. Once you arrive on site, you have airport reception or train station reception, depending on the program and how that works. But we'll meet you from the moment you arrive, take you to your orientation housing, get you settled, and provide you with all the different needs that you have to make sure that you have a smooth transition to your new host country. Prior to your departure, you'll get a lot of virtual resources for an orientation, but then you'll also have an on-site orientation if that is a program that's lasting on site, of course. So it'll cover safety, academics, policies, procedures, pretty much everything you can think of. You'll get over-oriented, but you'll be very well prepared for all the different things that you're going to experience throughout the course of your program. Tuition obviously is included in our program fee, as well as housing, medical and life insurance, also cultural activities, excursions, volunteer opportunities. So there's a lot of different things that are included. Our goal is to make the program fees that we charge as inclusive as possible, so you have as little as possible to pay out of pocket. So that's one thing that we do pride ourselves on, is making sure that we try to include the most we can for as little as possible to make these programs really, really inclusive and available for as many students as possible. One of the biggest benefits, of course, of going through an organization like API or going abroad is that we recognize it's not just the city that you're in, but it's also the surrounding area that you get to go to. So we include excursions as much as we possibly can. Now, in the era of COVID, we have had to modify these a little bit, so we no longer offer overnight excursions for the time being. These will all be day trips, but that's really kind of fun to allow us to expand and offer some more day trips. So it's kind of been a fun transition, actually. So it's unfortunate that we can't do the overnight trips, but there are still lots of really, really great things that we can do. So these are examples listed here about things that are for our semester in Rome, where we're having trips to Pompeii, Siena, Umbria, Assisi. So these are just examples of some of the different cultural excursions that are taking place. API covers all of the transportation and entrance fees to these, so you don't have to worry about that. It's already included in your program fee, no additional expense, just souvenirs if you decide that that's something you want to take part in. So over and above the actual excursions, there's a lot of different cultural activities and events that take place in the city that you're living in or in a virtual space. So I'll talk about the API Connect platform in a while. That's the virtual location where these cultural activities take place. But on site, you'll be able to participate in at least monthly API sponsored activities like museum visits, concerts, cultural tours, historical tours, maybe a trivia night, all kinds of different activities that take place. Cooking classes, one of my favorites. As you see here, they're learning how to make pasta. So there's a lot of different activities that will help you learn more about your host community and get to interact with locals as well. Again, these are all part of your program fees, so there's no charge. We also include a welcome and a farewell meal. It sounds kind of obvious in one sense that it would be included, but it's actually a really nice feature because it helps you meet the people on your program, and then it also gives you a space to say farewell to the new friends that you've met. So those are some things that are included there. And the reason we include these is that we recognize that learning happens outside of the classroom just as much, if not more, than it does inside the classroom. So these are really a great way for you to more fully engage with the host culture and integrate your learning into your daily life, more so than just what you're doing in the class. It's not about just going to school and going back to your apartment or to your host family, but it's about really exploring the community as much as you can and being as involved as you possibly can in your local culture. So I mentioned housing is included with all of our on-site programs, so I do want to touch on that. API programs always take safety into account as the #1 priority when looking at where we're going to host our students. So we are always considering how we can have the best and safest locations for housing, whatever that may be. It's going to vary by location in terms of the type of housing that's available. So it might be a host family, a dormitory, or a residence hall, or even an individual shared apartment with other API students. Host families can be a really great way to learn really deeply about the culture, especially if you're practicing a language. So if that's an option and something you're interested in, I would encourage you to explore that if it's available in the specific location you're interested in. I lived with a host family when I studied in Spain, and for me, that was one of my favorite things. So I really would encourage you to explore that as an option. Depending on the type of housing you have, there may be meals included. Sometimes there are, sometimes there's not. Typically, host families will always include most, if not all of your meals. Residence halls will include some, and then apartments, since it's more of an independent living, will typically not include any meals, but it does vary from site to site. If you do live in an apartment, you're usually going to be sharing that with about 4 to 8 API students, although we've modified that a little bit in the COVID era. Of course, we've got to try to keep social distancing as much as possible, so there will be some changes for the spring, and hopefully only for the spring. But we will continue to make sure that we're taking into account all of the necessary precautions to make sure you're safe as a student in the different housing. But you do have apartments with fully equipped kitchens, so you'll be preparing your own meals, and you will even get some tips and tricks on how to eat financially sound, and different local markets that you can go to and everything like that. So these are just a couple of photos from some of our housing that's available. So dorm style housing could be a double or a single room. Some locations, they don't even have double rooms, it's only single rooms, so that's kind of a nice one. Our program in Madrid, the residence hall, you actually get a weekly cleaning service that's part of your program fee, which sounds really great to me. I wish I had that here. Apartments, again, this is an example of an apartment. So you can see that it's got a kitchen. It's set, it's not huge or anything like that, but it's enough for you to be able to make some food and to do that. And then also the host families. This is an example of one of our host family locations. So each of our individual program websites has photographs of the type of housing that's available and lists the different options. Sometimes it's one, sometimes it's more than one, so it kind of varies from site to site. So I mentioned the API Gives Back program as something that I really like, so I do just want to mention that really quickly here. So what this is a way for, we've made a commitment for allowing students that are participating in API programs on site to give back to the local community and contribute in a positive way to saying thank you for letting you be a part of their family or their community for a short period of time. So our resident directors organize typically single days of service for you to say thank you, whether it's helping beautify a beach project, or preservation of a salt marsh, or painting an orphanage, or assisting with a mural project in Cuba. It's a variety of different tasks and things that happen. But these are normally with organizations that have an ongoing presence. So it's not typically a one-off kind of a thing, but rather we work with local organizations that have a lasting benefit in the local community. So it's a really great way for you to make an impact and also meet locals too, because these are typically done with local residents as well. So it can be a really great way to meet other people on the program, as well as working with local individuals. Now, if volunteering is something you want to do throughout the course of your program, we are able to typically, in most cases, arrange volunteer programming. So there's a lot of different opportunities. I know, for example, in Spain, there's a program that we can work with helping teach English to kids. That's available in most locations that are non-English speaking. There's a program where you can volunteer with a cat sanctuary. So there's all sorts of different stuff that our students have been able to do over the course of life. So I do want to talk about our scholarships. So the scholarships are available for most of our on-site programs. So these are going to range from anywhere from $250 to $1,000 per student. And this will vary depending on the length of the program that you're going on, and as well as the number of applicants. And there's a variety of factors that play into this. But once you're accepted into an API program, you'll have access to the API scholarship application, and you'll be able to make your application. We have a really broad range of awards. So it can be anywhere from where you're going, what you're studying, who you are, where your family's from, like lots of different factors that play into how you can get a scholarship. So we try to acknowledge that students need support as much as possible, so we're able to do that. And of course, we'll work with your study abroad office to do payments for any kind of financial aid and things of that nature. As I'm going to talk about virtual programs, I do want to mention, this is one of my favorite parts about our virtual programs, is that if you are thinking about doing an on-site program, but you're not really sure if you're ready for that, or if you think about that's something you want to do in the future, doing a virtual program is a really great way to get a really good scholarship for the future. If you do a virtual program, you get an automatic scholarship of either $500 for a future in-person summer program or $3,000 off of a future semester program. So that can make a huge impact, because a lot of our virtual programs aren't terribly expensive. So yes, you pay for the virtual program, but you actually still get a really good scholarship. So you're still going to have some money left over when it comes to the on-site program. So just something to think about as we start talking about the virtual programs as well. So first, I'm going to touch on internships. If anyone has any questions, again, feel free to stop me. But I'm going to touch on the our in-person on-site international internships. So these are offered, as you'll see here, on a variety of different locations. So again, Latin America, Europe, and the South Pacific. But we want to talk about why would you do an international internship. So there's a lot of internship opportunities available in the US. And yes, these are going to be programs that you pay for. You do not get paid for international internships. And I know that you can get paid for some programs, some internships in the US, but our international internships are programs that you do pay for. But there are some really big benefits that come along with it. Being able to work in a global environment can really help set you apart when you're applying for future jobs. So having to say, I did an internship in a particular area, but I did it in a different culture, in a different language maybe, or doing it with people from all over the world, and I was the only person from the US that was part of this, that's really going to say something to your employer. So it's really going to help you network and build your network of professional resources, and also stand out to employers that you were able to accomplish something really, really exciting. You're also going to have that amazing professional development and see things in a different way. You know, we approach things the way that we do here, but it's really interesting to see how other countries do it. I was speaking with a student who did an internship in Dublin. It was a business internship, and they said many times that the way that that business approached things was just so different from everything that she had learned, and she was really able to merge and kind of bridge what she learned versus what she was experiencing. So not only did she learn from the people in Dublin, but they were also able to learn from her. So it can be a really fun collaborative way and a collaborative experience. So just an overview again, here's where the locations are. So you'll see we got a pretty big representation in Europe, of Latin America, as well as the South Pacific. Our Italy internships are only available in the summer, but we do have a lot of different placements either during the semester or the summer. And these are the on-site locations, and you can do a virtual internship in pretty much any of these places. I'll talk about those in a little bit, but virtual, it's more about the experience you're looking for rather than the destination that you want to go. So in other words, placement opportunities, basically everything. So we can pretty much do anything that's not a hands-on medical placement. So hands-on medical is tough because of different laws and regulations and whatnot, but realistically, we're able to explore and source internships in a variety of different locations and areas. So engineering, hospitality, business, of course, is great. Art and design, education. There's lots of different areas that we can do internships in. The way that it works is actually the internships are tailored for every individual student. So it's not as if we have a list of internships that you pick and apply from, but rather you explain to us what it is that you're looking to do, and then we actually go out and source that internship for you. So we will try to do our best to find you the perfect placement that can combine your professional and academic interests as well as the personal goals that you have for the experience. So it may be that you come to us and say, I'm really interested in going to Barcelona to do my internship, but it turns out that actually Santiago, Chile has this amazing placement that you hadn't thought about. So it may be something that you want to do, it may be not. So it might be depending on what's most important to you, whether it be the destination or the actual work that you're doing. That's kind of the fun part about being individualized, is that we're able to really work with you to find the best placement for you. So with the internship, you're going to get that internship placement again. And that's part of the other reason is why you're paying for an international internship, is that we source it for you and we try to do the best job we can to make sure that it's the best placement for you. So you'll have access to that API Connect virtual workspace. Again, whether you do this as an independent or as an in-person or virtual experience, and I'll talk about that in a second. The same orientation materials and resources, again, that you would have as part of our study abroad program, pre-departure, as well as on-site. The orientation that takes place is a little bit different because we focus on what is the work culture like in those particular locations. So you're still going to get the safety and security orientation, but you're also going to learn a little bit more about what is it like to be an employee in this particular case. What is the dress code? What do people do? How is a typical work day? Do people take really long lunches? Do people really take a siesta in Spain and not go back to work during the afternoon? So really talking about what it's like to be an employee or to be a professional intern in a different location like that. Housing, again, is definitely included. In our internship programs, the vast majority of students live in apartments, although we do have homestay options in Latin America and Spain as well, so can depend on that. Again, you have access to those resident directors and coordinators as well as the global guides. We do offer the option of earning credit for the internship. It's not an automatic component of the program because a lot of students will get it, through their home institution. But if you do need credit, you can earn 3 to 6 credits from us. So we can offer that for you. And then we also want to make sure that we find out that it's not like we get you set with an internship and then turn you loose and say, okay, have a good time. You have internship oversight throughout the entire experience. Not only do you have a supervisor at your actual placement, but you also have API staff in that country, so your global guides and resident directors. And you also have our internship coordinator, Laura, here in the Texas office, who will be checking in with you periodically throughout the course of the experience. So you have a lot of oversight the long way, people checking in, making sure that you're going along well, that everything is working with the internship. And not everything is always perfect. So it may be that they'll help you navigate a discussion with your internship supervisor to say you wish you were doing something else, and they can make that happen. Or it might be, this is amazing, everything's great, I love it, it's wonderful. So it just depends, but you have insight and assistance throughout the course of the program. And then I want to mention too our digital badges. So we have our Global Workplace Communication Digital Badge, as well as our Career Development Badge. The Global Workplace Communication Digital Badge is our virtual internship badge, and the Career Development is our on-site digital badge. They're in essence very similar, it's just that their format's a little bit different because the activities that you do to earn these badges will either be taking place in real life or in a virtual space. But what these are really great ways for you to showcase the skills that you're learning and highlight them on your LinkedIn profile or your ePortfolio to show your future employers the wonderful things that you've done and the skills you've acquired while you're doing an international internship. So they can be really helpful. They also give you access to different job searches and databases, which can help you as you're looking for employment in the future. So we offer badges as part of our study abroad programs as well, but they're a really strong component that are built into the fabric of our internships, which help you, again, engage and make the most of your experience. The last thing I want to talk about with regard to in-person internships is our study and intern semester programs. So these are a little bit different in that they offer you the opportunity to earn 12 credits over the course of the semester. So if you're looking to do a full-time internship while you're during the semester, we don't offer them for 12 credits, we only offer them for 6. So that can be a tricky if you're trying to build in a 12 credit semester. So what we've done is we've designed a program where you go abroad to either Dublin or Barcelona and you take 2 5-week intensive academic courses. You take critical thinking and immigration in a historical context, no matter if it's Dublin or Barcelona. They're very general courses that are offered to kind of get you thinking about the internship experience as well as the local culture and where you are. And then you'll do a 7-week full-time internship placement and earn 6 more credits. So you'll earn a total of 12 semester credits over the course of the semester. It's just broken up into 2 different sections. The internships are, once again, highly individualized and tailored the same way they would be in the other program. It's just that this one is specifically around this particular program where it's built into the 5-week and 7-week program. So it could be a really interesting way to earn a couple of really cool courses to get those 6 credits in the coursework, and then also a 6-credit internship. So just really quickly, the semester options for our in-person, our full-time internships are 8 weeks, 10 weeks, and 12 weeks. So we do have 3 different options for this semester. And then the summer options, they're all 8 weeks, and there's 3 different sessions. So the dates vary a little bit, but they're always going to be late May to mid-July, early June to late July, and then mid-June to mid-August. So on our website, we have the most specific information that's there, but we offer those as an option. And then on any of the summer programs, students have the option of earning 6 credits with us. So that's a cool availability for you. For our virtual programs, which I will talk about in a moment, kind of segueing here, we actually have a full-time or a part-time option. So if you're interested in doing an internship for like a virtual internship, you can actually combine it with a study abroad experience or an in-person class, or what you're doing now. You could theoretically still sign up for a virtual internship for the fall semester. We have a program that starts November 9th and goes through December 18th, and the deadline to apply is actually October 1st, so there's technically still time to do that. Or we have spring programs coming up that'll work as well. But you can do this for either 32 hours a week on a full-time placement or 20 to 25 hours as part of the part-time placement. And you can earn 3 to 6 credits depending if you do a full or a part-time with a virtual place. And then our summer virtual options next year are going to be summer 1 is May 31st to July 23rd, and then summer 2 is June 28th to August 20th. So I don't expect you to remember that, of course, they're all on the website, but you can kind of get an idea of when these take place. So kind of segueing into our virtual space, the API Connect platform is really the marriage of the technology and the virtual space, and then also combining those with some of our on-site programs and our virtual. So whether you decide to do an in-person or a virtual program, you're going to be in the API Connect space. This is where you're going to meet lots of different people on your program with you. It's where you're going to do pre-departure materials and see orientation activities. There might be information that's posted from our resident directors while you're on site, or information that you get from API, or you may even be doing a faculty-led program at some point that comes through API, and so this would be a space that you would work on. But where it's really impactful right now, especially, is for our virtual program participants, which is where I'm segueing into to talk about those. You'll see in the corner a video playing by Matteo. Matteo is our resident director in Tuscania, Italy, and he's teaching us how to speak a little bit of Italian without actually saying anything. So it's one of my fun kind of videos that he does. But basically what this is an example of some of the cultural content that's in there. So in a virtual space, we can't take you to museums, we can't take you on tours, we can't do those things. But what we've done is try to bring them to you in a virtual space. So there are going to be some recorded events and things of that nature, but there's also some live things that happen as well. So it's not all just sitting in front of a computer watching videos. You get to have conversations with your resident directors, with other students on the program. And it's also the space where you would engage to do the digital badge activities. So this is where you would go to earn those. So it's a really cool place for you to kind of interact with, whether it's an internship or a study abroad experience. And there's a lot of great things that are in there, and it's constantly evolving and changing as well. So it's a really fun place. So as we start talking about virtual quick, I want to mention that we have 3 different options. We have our virtual Global Select program, which is our study program, our virtual labs, and then our internship experiences. So the first one of these is our Global Select program. This is an opportunity for you to really kind of design your own track. We called it Choose Your Own Adventure Virtual Study Abroad. From the Global Select program, you can choose anywhere from 1 to 6 courses that are offered through several of our partner institutions abroad, and you take them in a virtual space. So you can mix and match classes. You might take 2 classes from Costa Rica, 1 from Spain, and 1 from Australia. Or you can just add 1 class from Budapest onto your program, or Croatia, and add it to your regularly full semester of courses that you have at Platteville. It really, really varies, and there's a lot of different options for it. We have over 2,500 classes to choose from, so there's literally something for everybody in there. And it varies in terms of price and dates and everything like that, depending on where you choose. We do have some pre-established tracks that are listed on our website. So if you're an international business major, for example, or pre-health professions, or we're adding an engineering track really soon as well. So I know that's a big one for you all. There are some pre-established courses that kind of highlight some of those, because it can be overwhelming to look at so many different courses. But this is a great opportunity for you to take 1 to 3 classes or 1 to 6 courses just to add some extra internationalization into your coursework. The next one is our Innovation Lab. And so the Innovation Lab is a program that you work with a team of 4 to 6 peers over a period of 10 weeks. And what you do is you take the UN Global Goals and identify a problem that you want to try to solve. And you basically come up with a creative business solution, and you work to develop that in a virtual space with your teammates. And along the way, API is going to give you help with regard to bringing in industry experts, field mentors, our global guides and cultural experts, to help you think about it through ideation, developing a value proposition, all the way up to the point where you propose it in an actual pitch competition. So it's a really cool way for you to kind of get some interactive experience working in teams and come up with a tangible product in the form of a pitch. It's not a credit-bearing program at the moment. However, it's a really cool opportunity, and it gives you 3 digital badges, the Global Innovation stack right there, which has teamwork and problem solving as well. So it's some really cool stuff that goes on in there. And they're also low cost, very low cost as well. The next one is our Community Engagement Lab. And so this is very similar to the Innovation Lab, but instead of looking on a business solution, what you're doing is looking at a problem within your own community and looking at it from a global perspective and trying to come up with a community action plan to solve that, but giving it that global perspective. So again, API sources, industry mentors, and field experts from around the world to help you navigate through the process of coming up with a community action plan. And then you will ideally have this plan to take to the organization that you'd like to propose it to. So it's, again, a collaborative effort of people from all over across the US working in different teams from different majors and backgrounds and whatnot. And then lastly is our virtual global internship. And so this has been our most popular virtual program by far. So these are available again through, for credit, that's available through Nichols College. And again, the full-time or part-time placements that we have. And what we've done is we've utilized the NACE skills-based curriculum to help you make sure that these are the most effective ways to enhance your experience and make you more marketable as an employee in the future. Virtual is here to stay. Virtual is something that we're all doing, whether it's your courses that you're taking, your jobs that you're having, it's just something that's happening. So being able to come up with these really cool virtual placements and to participate in a virtual lab is something that's really, really great. And so we had some really, really wonderful internships that took place over the summer, and we're really excited to continue offering these into the fall, into the spring semester, and then as well into the summer. So that's kind of my spiel. That's my last slide that I wanted to talk about. I do just want to share a couple of links with you here. The first one is a link to our fair website. So this is kind of a special website that we've created for our fall virtual fairs. So it's just the apiabroad.com website with the /fairs at the end of it. Here you can sign up for information. If you're interested in getting more information, you can sign up for emails, and we'll be happy to add you to our email list. If you're interested in speaking with an alum of a program, we'd be happy to connect you. So I have the chat with an alumni link here. This is also available on the website as well. But this is a great opportunity for you to chat with someone, a peer of yours, perhaps even a Plattville student who's actually been to the site that you're looking to go to. And so you'd be able to connect with them and ask any questions you might have. And then lastly, I have my email address, my personal email, as well as our general API@apibroad.com email address. Please feel free to send any questions, concerns, thoughts, comments, anything at all, and we'll be happy to connect you with the right person or I'll get back to you personally. So thank you so much. I really appreciate your attention. If anyone has any questions, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I really hope that you enjoy your fair. I hope it's a great opportunity for you to learn, and I hope you have a great semester.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jason.
Yeah. Hi, Nina.
Hi, how are
I saw you pop out. I
I knew I was gonna like say hi, but then I'm like, oh, he's in the middle of a session, so I'm just kidding. I won't be like, Jason, how are you?
How are you?
Good, very good. Yes, so no, today's going by so fast.
Yeah, I bet. I know this whole week has gone by so crazy fast. I'm like, what day is it?